Hello gamers, are you tired of playing the same old games? Don't worry, I've played a bunch and picked the absolute best 15 survival games for your phone. Whether you're into crafting, exploring, or just surviving, I've got you covered. Without further ado, let's start. Just survival multiplayer gave me that Rust vibe at first, but once you get into it, you realize it's going for something a bit different. This isn't about chaotic servers with 100 plus players raiding each other non-stop. Instead, you create your own server, invite your friends, or keep it to a small group of people. And honestly, that makes the game feel way more chill. You can focus on building, surviving, and just enjoying the gameplay without constantly watching your back 24/7. If you're into survival games. Last Pirate Survival Island is a game where you start as a castaway on a deserted island. It's fun to begin with, exploring the island, gathering resources, and building a shelter. However, after a while, the game gets repetitive. Additionally, the enemies, like zombies and skeletons, are pretty easy to defeat. I think the game could be better with more variety, maybe different islands. After That Day is a game where you try to survive after a big disaster. You need to find food, water, and build a place to stay. It's hard at first, but it's fun to learn new things. However, the game gets repetitive quickly. Once you've gathered the basics, there isn't much else to do besides searching for more stuff or fighting zombies. It's a decent survival game to pass the time. Darkest Days just dropped recently, and visually, it really impressed me. The graphics are sharp, and the atmosphere is dark and gritty. You've got single-player missions, co-op stuff, and raids. It definitely gives you plenty to do. But I've got to keep it real with you, the game is very pay to win. You can feel the pressure to spend money early on if you want to keep up or have a fighting chance in PvP or even harder missions. Still, if you're just looking to mess around in a moody post-apocalyptic world with your squad, Darkest Days. Radiation Island, you are one of the survivors of an experiment, and you have to find a way to get back to your own world. But first, you have to survive the dangers of the island, which include radiation, zombies, wild animals, and other players. Radiation Island has a lot of depth, variety, and challenge. Underwater Survival is like a very simplified version of Subnautica for mobile. It has underwater exploration and survival aspects, but a lot is missing. The world feels empty compared to Subnautica's rich environments and diverse creatures. If the developers add more content, creatures, and depth to the gameplay, it could become a decent underwater survival experience. For now, it's a fun distraction. Amikin Survival is like a smaller version of Palworld. The game is about surviving in a world full of cute anime creatures called Amikin. You can catch, raise, and fight with them. While it might entertain you for a short time, Meakan Survival doesn't offer enough to keep players engaged for the long haul. It feels like a simplified version of a bigger game. Crisis is a new survival game that looks really good. The graphics and animations are amazing, and I love exploring the big open world. I also like the survival part of the game, where you need to find food, water, and shelter. However, the game's optimization is bad, it lags even on high-end devices, and sometimes it's a bit hard to control. I hope they can fix these things in the future. Last Island of Survival is a mobile game that wants to be like Rust. You have to find materials, build a base, and make weapons to survive. Playing with friends is definitely the best part, as you can build a base together and raid other players. However, the game has some problems. It can feel like a grind to get the materials you need, and the pay-to-win aspects make it unfair for players who don't spend money. Overall, Last Island of Survival has potential, but it needs to balance things out to me. Tomorrow, MMO Nuclear Quest has that semi-open world setup where you're traveling between zones, gathering loot, and fighting off both players and creepy creatures. The survival elements feel balanced, and there's a good mix of fun PvP action. Now, the one thing that really bugs me is the energy system. Every time you travel, it costs energy, and if you run out, you're stuck waiting. That kind of mechanic always kills the flow for me, especially when I'm deep into the game. Earth Revival is one of those survival games that takes a more sci-fi direction, and I've got to say, the visuals and combat really stand out. There's something really cool about mixing survival gameplay with high-tech weapons and alien threats. That said, the story didn't really click with me, and the endgame content kind of lost me. Also, like a lot of mobile games these days, it does lean a bit into the pay-to-win territory, which is always a letdown. Still, despite Wintercraft is an offline survival simulator set in a large open-world winter forest. You have to gather resources, build a winter house, craft weapons and tools, hunt animals and predators with a bow and arrow, and explore the forest. You also have to deal with the cold and weather, which can affect your health and stamina. And if that's not enough, you also have to find your missing father who disappeared in the forest. Donlands offers a charming blend of open-world exploration and creative building mechanics. The game's vibrant world invites you to gather resources, craft tools and structures, and uncover its secrets. If you're looking for a chill game where you can build things and hang out with your friends in a colorful world, Donlands is definitely worth checking out. If you love the gritty survival experience of Unturned, Obsession, Arythros is like its polished, story-driven mobile cousin. It captures the same core elements: open-world exploration, resource scavenging, crafting, and a constant fight for survival against all kinds of threats. Expect a haunting atmosphere, challenging it. Lost Future gave me some serious The Last of Us and Days Gone vibes. The atmosphere is dark, gritty, and, honestly, it nails the whole zombie survival theme better than most mobile games I've played. But here's the thing, it needs polish. The graphics have potential, but the optimization just isn't there yet. I ran into a lot of frame drops, and that kind of kills the immersion when things get intense. If the devs can smooth out the performance.